Maurice Richard lived in Florida for years. He's never had a problem with the heat until this week.
The truck was over there, and when I came here, I just fell on one knee.
He was moving out of his room here at transitional housing to a new apartment of his own when he says he suddenly felt faint. The 64-year-old says he's lucky staff members saw what was happening in time.
And they saw the color, that's what they told me. They said, "Oh, you don't look good." And that's when they told me, "No, sit down."
He's been following the tragic turn the heat wave has taken.
Just knowing that could have happened to me, and I think it's very hard to, especially people like me that don't have family, and I think those are the unfortunate that probably passed away.
Also keeping an eye on some of the city's most vulnerable is this team patrolling from the shelter.
Most of what I'm trying to find out is people sleeping. When they are sleeping, you don't know if they just passed out or whatever. We're going slowly and trying to find people where they can hide, and we stop, try to talk with them.
On m'appelle maman. On m'appelle maman.
They call me mom, says Yolette Jean, and they're usually happy to see me.
I'm happy to say that, to my knowledge, no one who uses our resources is amongst the fatalities that we've experienced here in Montreal.
As for Richard, his move's on hold until tomorrow, when the heat is expected to break. He hopes his story serves as a warning for others. Jayla Bernstein, CBC News, Montreal.
Now, we mentioned how those who died in Quebec didn't have air conditioning. And you might be surprised to learn that in Canada's two biggest provinces, Quebec and Ontario, there are no regulations requiring a person's room in a nursing home or even a hospital to have air conditioning at all.
You feel uncomfortable and you sweat a lot. And if you already feel bad because of your sickness, then it just makes things worse.
Staff and patients are calling the conditions at this Montreal hospital unbearable.
I had to buy a big fan for my room just to be comfortable.
Officials admit the heat wave's been difficult for patients, but they also say this is one of the oldest hospitals in Quebec. There is a plan to install air conditioning in all rooms, but only eventually, and certainly not tomorrow.
Dad was getting sick. The day I brought them home, he was vomiting from the heat stress.
Meanwhile, this Ottawa woman felt she had no choice but to get her elderly parents out of their nursing home because the extreme heat has made it unlivable.
We asked if we could put in portable air conditioners, and we were told the electrical wouldn't handle it.
The rule is long-term care facilities in Ontario and Quebec do need to have some air-conditioned common areas, but in both provinces, there's no law requiring air conditioning in bedrooms.